What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, the place to be, chilling, Mr. Andy, to give you guys a quick and late Raw review. Well, the thing is, I saw half of Raw on Monday, I had to see the other half on Tuesday, but I was just extremely worn out by all the other podcasts that I had to put up, and plus all the 2K news that was coming out and stuff like that. And I was just like, look, I just can't keep loading up the thing, so I decided to do a Raw review. That's why I'm not on camera right now. I'm on audio, so I do apologize if somebody was looking at this to see my reaction, stuff like that, to the camera. This is more going to be such of a recap of Raw. Just give out how I felt about it, because here's the thing: I thought this week of Raw was actually better than last week's of Raw. Was it a great show of Raw? I mean, not really. It was good things in it. Cena returns tonight because we're in Boston, Massachusetts. The Bloodline stuff is always going to be good, but then we just got a fast track on the WrestleMania of like really digging into what the cards like what's going to be on the WrestleMania card. Like, I think this show and Smackdown is going to show that, and by then we'll just have the next 3 weeks to just build all the matches up. But I think this one and Smackdown, we're going to get like the final couple of matches of what's going to be happening at WrestleMania, and then we're going to just be building, with the next couple of weeks to that, and then we'll just get there and see how things roll out. But we go backstage. SUV pulls up, and then Jimmy, Solo, and Paul Heyman get out, and Paul reminds him that, Roman Reigns expects you to handle the Sami Zayn problem, okay? Then we start off with Kevin Owens taking on Solo Sikoa. We've seen these guys go at it before, so it was a decent enough matchup as it was before. As I'm doing the quick recap here, but towards the end, Owens hits a swanton bomb on Solo, but Jimmy Uso comes in and breaks us, punching, beating him up, and the referee calls for the bell. Afterwards, Jimmy and Sikoa attacking Owens, and then Jimmy sends Kevin Owens to the ring steps, and then Solo sends him for a big splash door the table, but then Sami Zayn runs down and saves Kevin Owens. So afterwards, after they take out the bloodline, he goes to extend his hand, and then Owens, he doesn't shake use Sami's hand to get up by. He just rolls out the ring, and there was actually some boos by that. Like, they booed Kevin Owens for that, and I thought it was a good opener. And like I said, this was more so about an angle. Anything when it comes to wrestling on this show today was non-existent. Okay, it was like we had the short matches. We didn't have the long Triple H flushed out matches. This is more about just building towards story. Afterwards, we had Bobby Lashley talking on screen about his encounter with Uncle Howdy, and this Bobby Lashley says he came to SmackDown to see Wyatt face to face, and like a man. Instead, he said Uncle Howdy do his dirty work. So Lashley dares Wyatt to face him like a man. Wyatt's video flashes in the background, but that's all we got, and Lashley doesn't notice. This is terrible. Like, there's a, what? I can just close my eyes, and then when we get to WrestleMania, I'll just be like, all right, is it over? Done. Okay, let's move on past this, please, because Bobby don't even look like he's into this right now. And I guarantee Bray's not even into this right now. And here's the thing: I don't think they had nothing to do with it. They just get working with what they have, and unfortunately, that sucks. Bianca Belair makes her way to the ring, and she's taking on Carmella, who has Chelsea Green. They are starting to become a pairing, and they actually kind of work together, so they may actually be a tag team. But it don't really help for Carmella, because Carmella does get the KOD, gets KOD'd by Bianca Belair, wins the matchup. Afterwards, Asuka comes in there. She power walks to the ring because she has heels on, so she power walks to the ring. I was like, so she's not gonna fall. She has no makeup on or anything, and Bianca gets out the ring, because this is after Carmella and Chelsea Green tries to attack Bianca Belair. But then, as Bianca gets out the way, Asuka goes to spray Carmella. She ducks and hits Chelsea Green. She sold it well. But once again, Bianca Belair and Asuka just stare at each other and look at the WrestleMania side. This has nothing, there's nothing going for this. Even I don't know how to explain it, but I know Asuka and Bianca Belair could be a good matchup, but there's just no story here. They're not building up no story. They haven't built up anything, because honestly, I don't think that this is what the plan was, to be honest with you. Is it a good alternative? Sure. But once again, you don't have Triple H, who has been building and storytelling since August for most of his stories, plans going to WrestleMania, and then all of a sudden, things have been switched to the point where it's just like, now, you mean to tell me one of his high stars like Bianca Belair doesn't have a good story going into WrestleMania? Bobby Lashley don't have a good story going into WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar don't really have a good story going into WrestleMania. Like, a lot of these matches don't have good build-up. And because I don't think Asuka versus Bianca Belair was ever part of the plan. I heard the rumor was Bianca and Charlotte, which I would like that also. But then Charlotte comes, takes the belt off Ronda, and then next thing, like we see, like Charlotte in the bank comes, and that's what happens, and it switches up the whole thing. Because I think somebody else got their hand involved, and you can see it on certain things. Sami Zayn's backstage walking to Kevin Owens, and he says he doesn't know what else he has to do for almost that, basically, to go on the side. He says, look, you can't beat the bloodline by yourself. I can't beat the bloodline by myself, but we can do it together. So why don't you just listen to me? And Owens says, yeah, he remembers. He said, I used to be part of the bloodline. I know how this works. He said, yeah, I know. I remember. 8 months, okay, of fighting the bloodline. I know you know about that, but you remember how long I fought for 8 months. Maybe they could do this together, but Owens doesn't want to work with Sami at all. Maybe he was wrong. Maybe Zayn can't go back to Roman Reigns and stroke his ego enough, and Owens tells Zayn to leave him out of it, and Zayn just looks dejected. We're getting ready for a face-to-face between Seth freaking Rollins and Logan Paul on Miz TV. So Seth is out there, then of course the Miz is out there, like I guess mediator to bring out Logan Paul. Logan Paul comes out to huge boos and stuff like that, and then the crowd starts saying Logan sucks because he does. And like I said, it's easy for the crowd to hate Logan Paul than it is for him to try to be a babyface, which I thought was the wrong move for them to do in the first place. So as they sing along Seth's song, Logan Paul says, do you know who I am? Look, I'm the guy that dumped you out the Royal Rumble, stomped you at Elimination Chamber, but Logan Paul doesn't know what Rollins' problem is with him. Maybe he embarrassed him twice, or did more in 1 year than he's done in 20. Look, Paul is better at this than Rollins is, according to Logan Paul. And he says, Paul is on his way in and you're on the way out. Paul works harder, not smarter. If Paul Rollins, he wouldn't like him either. So Miz says Paul makes some good points, but there's a F.U. Logan Paul chant that starts up, and Rollins says Paul doesn't make great points, but he's missing. These are another reason why we don't like you. He said people don't like Logan Paul because you're the scum of the earth, you're a coward, you're a troll, you're a fraud, you're a human dumpster fire. And the crowd cheers for that one. But he said, look, I ain't come here to mince my words. I came to get my pound of flesh, and it's time to fight. And then, Miz was like, I'll put a stop to this as a mediator. It's not his job to make sure that they don't fight tonight. So Paul says, don't put words in my mouth. I can do this. Look, I'm a premium athlete, and I don't fight for free, especially not in Boston. But at WrestleMania, yeah, we can make Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul happen. And Rollins asks if you really make that happen, and then they're gonna make the match official. Paul tries to attack Seth Rollins, but then he avoids it. Then the Miz tries to come and start kind of helping Logan Paul out, but then he gets Miz out the way. He tries to go for a stomp. Seth Rollins is out the way, but he throws him with the one lucky punch that Logan Paul does and knocks him out. And then he goes up to Seth Rollins and was like, "Bye, bitch," just like he did to him last week. And it was a very decent segment. I don't like Logan Paul, everybody knows that, but I do believe that this is going to be a pretty good matchup. We get a recap of what happened with Bobby Lashley in the VIP lounge last week, so now we get Omos on Dolph Ziggler. Mustafa Ali is backstage trying to be like the over-positive Dolph fan. This rivalry's going nowhere. Even though he was out in the crowd trying to cheer for Dolph, Omos destroys Dolph Ziggler, and Mustafa Ali started there cheering. And then MVP says, it's all the hype he needs to WrestleMania between Brock Lesnar and Omos. You see what Omos just did to Dolph Ziggler, because it's Dolph Ziggler. Lesnar should never put his hands on MVP. The Nigerian Giant will tame the beast at WrestleMania. Well, okay, whatever. Like, the less I talk about it, the better. MMM, or Maximum Miles, Maxine Dupree is backstage talking to Otis. Baron Corbin comes up, and they talking about him, but they're not. But they said that, you know, you may got a little charisma factor. Maybe you can probably be part of this if you take out the little short one, the ugly one, Gable. And then so we get an impromptu match between Finn Balor. We get a match later between Chad Gable and Baron Corbin. Whoopee. Finn Balor taking on Johnny Gargano. On paper, this should have been a good matchup, but once again, they didn't really get much time. This time was just all leading to that when Balor was about to go for the coup de grace, Edge's music started. Damian Priest and Dominic went up on the stage to try to take out Edge, but Edge comes, pushes Finn Balor off of it. Johnny Gargano hits the one final beat and then wins the matchup that way. So I was like, okay, it was just basically for Edge saying that they're not over. So maybe this whole Hell in a Cell rumor will probably be announced next week. Me personally, I've heard some people say this also, and I agree with them. I think if they would try, Brock and Bobby would have worked better in Hell in a Cell than Edge and Balor. But once again, Edge and Balor could still have a good Hell in a Cell matchup, and I think they probably would have had a better one than Bobby and Brock did. But I'm just saying by what the rivalry is, you know, that's what I'm referring to. But I still would like to see Balor and Edge in the Hell in a Cell, because we're not going to do a regular match. We've done too many of that between them. And then also, again, matches. I hate when you work backwards. You don't work backwards from gimmick matches to singles matches. You work from singles matches to gimmick matches. You know what I'm saying? We get a first commercial of Queen of the Ring. And then we also get Nikki Cross taking on Piper Niven. This matchup was not that good, especially when Piper Niven tries to go for the Black Hole Slam, but mistimed it with Nikki Cross. It just looked terrible, but she wins anyway. Backstage, Rick Boogs is talking with Elias, and back you can kind of see in the back, you see Cody talking to Kevin Owens. Maybe that's the bridge to help get Kevin Owens on the side of Sami Zayn. We don't necessarily know yet, but it looks like that's the way it could be going. But I really missed it. It's whatever it was said. Bronson Reed will take on Elias next week. John Cena returns to Monday Night Raw. Now, John Cena just comes back and he just like, yo, so whose balls am I cutting off tonight? Because that's what John Cena does. He comes out to the ring and he looks genuinely emotional for, you know, his ball since his hometown. Before he gets the word out, Austin Theory comes out. And then, you know, Austin Theory, he talks about some, you know, this is a gift from the bottom of my heart, and it's bigger than any movie Cena will ever do. The gift is Cena versus Theory, 1-on-1 for United States Championship at the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. And Cena says no. And then he tried to take a second, take it over. He was like, I'm not interested in Theory's gift. He hasn't earned the right to give it. Okay? Cena doesn't care. Like every single person, we don't care about Theory. Why? They don't care about Theory because they don't believe in him. They don't believe Theory because Theory doesn't believe in himself. You know, he got the fancy sneakers. He wears sunglasses indoors. He has no heart. He said, Austin Theory is a John Cena wannabe. Cena, myself, I'm the ghost of Christmas future for Theory. So when you get to the future, you're going to become this. But right now, you're in the ruthless aggression phase. And the ruthless aggression almost got him fired. It was a great opportunity, but Cena didn't believe in himself. So you have received numerous opportunities, him talking about Theory, but that's not enough. Theory has no heart, no soul. People aren't here tonight out of respect for the past. People are here tonight out of respect for the past 20 years. They believe in Cena. They don't believe in Theory. Theory is a pair of trunks away from being a jabroni. Like, I was like, my God, Cena. All right. So he said, "See, look, I'm gonna say something good now." That's what Cena said. I'm gonna say something good now. He said, Theory has the best name in WWE history. There's Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker. But there's no bigger name than Austin Theory, because that's exactly what it is, a theory. Because in theory, he should be great. In theory, he's everything WWE executives look for. In theory, everyone here should be here to see him, but no one cares. Theory's wasting their time, so on behalf of Boston, we would like to give Theory a gift. Cena tells Theory to shut up, turn around, get out the ring, and then they'll let him walk out of here in one piece. And that's my gift to you. And Theory's just like, I ain't going nowhere. Just like that bald spot in the back of your head. So Cena takes off the cap. He got the joint comb back over the bald spot. He said, look, he's happy. He's proud to be a part of the senior circuit. Theory says Cena has reverse on everything. He says, but I look at your shirt and never give up. Is John Cena saying no? Is he giving up? Is that him saying giving up? Is that his respect? Where's the respect for the people? Cena is the golden ticket, has a golden ticket against the United States champion at WrestleMania, and he's going to give it up. Where's the hustle? Where's the loyalty? Where's the respect? They don't want to see John Cena. Do they want to see John Cena at WrestleMania? They tell. But then you say no. He said, you know, I realize you're my childhood heroes, but don't meet your heroes because they will disappoint you. And Cena put his head down and just like, look, I'd rather be bald than having to pipe in fake crowd noises because no one cares. First of all, being aware that they pipe in fake crowd noises because that happens. And then they say it for Austin Theory because I was like, ouch. He said, look, you're a dumb son of a bitch. I was just like, oh, is this a little personal, John Cena? He said, Cena didn't say no because he's giving up. He says no because you're not ready. If they have a match at WrestleMania and Theory loses, you lose everything. You're done. If you win at WrestleMania, you lose everything. Theory can't win the day because you had to go. You can win that day, but you had to go out on Raw the next night across that after Raw, after WrestleMania audience, and they will eat you alive. He says they see what he sees. Theory's full of crap. And he says, but you left him no choice. He brought the crowd into it. Now I'm going to ask him, what do you think I should do? Now the crowd says, you know what you should do with it. You know, Cena and Theory at WrestleMania. So Cena says, look, my hair isn't just something that's going on my hearing also. He says, do you care? Like do you want to see Cena and Theory? And they cheer loudly. And then John Cena says he wishes him luck because he doesn't have the brains. He pointed at his head. He had a heart or the ball. He ball tapped him. And then he goes back. He says, well, you know, you need to work on a little bit on that last part. I was like, Cena, what the fuck, man? Cena be coming back and just be burying these guys alive, bro. And then Cena was just like, hold on, stop the music real quick. He says, Austin Theory's in no way, shape, or form is Austin Theory ready for WrestleMania, but Boston deserves to see someone who is, and that's the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes comes in there, and they hug it up, and they whip up something to the ear, something along the facts that, hey, if you got one more match in you, I would like to have a match with you. But seems like, you know, I ain't got that many left in me. So not only did he just bury Austin Theory, you know, here's the thing with the Cena. Do I love Cena coming back and grinding people up? I love seeing him grind up Roman Reigns. I love seeing him grind up Elias. I love seeing him grind up the Usos. I love seeing him grind. I like, yo, Cena the grinder, man. I love seeing him grind up people. Even when he was grinding up The Rock, like, yo, ain't nobody better than Cena doing that kind of stuff. The problem is, the way WWE looks at things is, they just look at, if Theory just gets the win over Cena, which he'll get the win over Cena, Cena's putting him over, so no matter how much they trash this guy, he's going to get the win at WrestleMania. It's the same way they kind of book Money in the Bank. They win Money in the Bank, and they just kept losing because they feel as though you're going about to win the title, but that's kind of ass backwards if you really think about it. And the only reason why it was just like, a little bit is because Austin Theory is the only champion on Raw at the moment. You just buried him along with the United States Championship, saying they ain't great. So why the hell you even have a championship? So I think I see what their logic is, but I'm just saying. I mean, first of all, it was a great segment, but I mean, Cena's great at what he does. But I was like, but like Cena, man, let the man breathe. Oh, never mind, he already drowned. Chad Gable taking on Baron Corbin. He beats Corbin with the ankle lock. Then we have a WrestleMania commercial for Miz and Maurice and Top Gun. It sucked because look, I don't know what it is. Maybe they didn't put the effort into it. Maybe they didn't feel like doing it this year. But the one or maybe I'm biased. I don't know what it is, but for the ones from 2005 are a lot better and funnier than these new WrestleMania commercials are. I'm sorry, I really want to like the Montez and Bianca Titanic one. It didn't go for me. Top Gun, I'm not really into those kind of movies, but you know, I heard Top Gun was great, but Miz Maurice, it didn't work for me. Joker was fine until they started talking and Becky Lynch came in that joint. So these things have been just god awful, unlike the ones from 2005. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, this segment it was just background noise for me, and it wasn't that really good anyway. Which it just culminated from Damage Control taking on Becky, Lita, and Trish in a 6-woman tag match at WrestleMania, which you knew was going to probably happen. I thought it was just going to probably be, you know, they'll get a rematch for the tag team titles. They put Ronda and Shayna in there, and then Trish goes off with Bayley. But it looks like Ronda may be injured, so it looks like that's probably not going to happen. So I was just like, okay, well, it's there. So if I haven't read anything from it, no. Solo Sikoa taking on Sami Zayn, which was made tonight. 2 SmackDown guys facing on Raw. So they had the matchup, and all of a sudden, Jey Uso makes his way down through the crowd. So now everybody's looking up at Jey Uso. Jey Uso looks up at his brother. Jimmy ducks a haluva kick and punches at Sami, but Sami hits a roll up for the victory, and Sami Zayn wins the matchup. So Sami's outside the ring, and then Jey gets in the ring and looks at his brother, and he looks disappointed. And he grabs his shirt, but it's not like a grip him up. It's just like man, the world is on my back, and it's very, very heavy. And he's fighting back emotions, and then he just lets go of his brother's shirt, walks out with Sami Zayn, and he said, "I trust you," and gives Sami Zayn a hug. And Sami Zayn's just like, "Yeah, okay, we got this." And now he's ready to team up with Jey Uso to take down the Bloodline. And then here come that super kick. Jey holds up one finger, and then he gets a super kick to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn didn't see it coming, but we all did. And then he starts shouting at him, talking about, "So you really not going to choose you over family?" And then he starts beating up Sami Zayn. Complete heel turn now for Jey Uso, and Solo and Jimmy and Jey are beating down Sami Zayn. But there's no Kevin Owens. He doesn't come out. But then who does come out? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out to fight the Bloodline. He's part of the story because he's going up against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So he comes out there to save Sami Zayn. So it was a strong way to close the show. And I the way I see it happening is like I can definitely see on the go home Raw, because that SmackDown is going to be like WrestleMania SmackDown. That's probably where they're going to have their Andre Giant Battle Royals and all that shit they don't care about, and care about the Hall of Fame, which we haven't heard nothing about yet. But you're like, seriously, like, I don't know what the hell's going on with this Hall of Fame. I don't know what's going on now. There's so much crap and tension going on backstage. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's going to be more of those, like, you know, Cody, Owens, and Zayn fighting the Bloodline, pull apart, crazy ass brawl. Like, that will be some crazy stuff, you know. I didn't see that. But guys, that was my Raw review. It's like thumbs in the middle. More, you know, I can't really give it a whole thumbs up because, well, I can, but there's a lot of things that was just like, they were there, they just helped enhance the matches, but there was nothing really, they had no substance other than Cena and the Bloodline stuff. So, you know, I'll get like a thumbs in the middle, but you can post down in the comments how you guys felt about it. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review, even though I know it was just a very quick one and it was a late one. But, you know, help support the channel because I'm trying out here for y'all. Hit the subscribe button for more wrestling videos, pop culture videos, and W2K23 news videos right here on NC Studios. So once again, it's NC the place to be. Mr. Andy, and the Nerd Coalition is out.